Boot it up, don't crash today. Wi-Fi's moody, that's okay. Coffee's loading, brain's still light. Kali's locked in, Techie's tagged. We're logging in with Kali and Techie. Kali bringing culture. Techie talks Techie. Stories, culture, love leads to. It's logging in, brought to you. System ready, slightly unstable. You're logging in for a vault, boredom not found. You're logging in, best show around.
It's another fantastic episode of Logging In where Passover's all over. Last time when we did this, it was a case where we had to just rush through all the content, basically. That was fun. Kali, you're there, right?
Yeah, but we got it out.
Yeah, we got it out.
We got it out.
We got it out. I couldn't do any fancy editing. I couldn't do anything. And it all ended up working out really well. So that was just very exciting to just get that going. So we should probably just like jump in story-wise. Do you want to just throw something out there, or do you want me to go first, or how do you want to do this?
How about you go? What's going on with MrBeast?
Okay, MrBeast is in trouble. His views has dropped 50% of the typical viewership, and everybody on the internet's talking about it. Now, here's the other thing is that one of the other commentators that kind of does a show just like we do, they're a little bit more famous in the YouTube arena. They went and they mentioned something that I think you might be able to help me understand a little bit better. But they said that it brought up to mind to them some type of quote, I guess, from Drake, which was something to the effect of that my worst day is your best day. I don't know if I'm quoting that right.
I mean, we've heard that type of quote before, basically saying, even if I have a bad day, you still can't touch me.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying is happening with MrBeast, which is just like nobody else is going to ever reach MrBeast. But the fact that he's doing long form content and essentially YouTube realizes that there's all these young creators that are coming on the platform and they have no opportunity whatsoever to break into the system. So essentially, YouTube is creating...
MrBeast is kind of like Amazon, like monopolized. Go ahead.
Right, but here's the difference. Amazon owns Amazon. MrBeast owns MrBeast, but he doesn't own YouTube, which means that essentially YouTube needs MrBeast to crumble.
Because there's no space.
And MrBeast has gone to Amazon.
No new blood.
He did his Beast Games season 1 and season 2 on Amazon. So there's no loyalty right now, even though like he's Mr. YouTube. Essentially, right now his videos are going down. He's still making a ton of money, but he's not making as much money as he used to. And the rest of the YouTube industry is looking very closely at this, and they're kind of wondering, what is YouTube doing? Why are they focusing so much on these new creators? I guess they kind of realize, hey, we can't rely on MrBeast. We need to make sure that we're constantly creating more creators and making them excited.
Rotating.
Right. Which means that they've been going and they've been just switching the views around. And people have even been noticing that if you go to the YouTube app now, it's very different than it used to be. Because essentially when you're going on, it's no longer recommending all these long form videos. Instead, it's going in, it's like maybe it'll recommend 2 long form videos and then it goes right into shorts. And with shorts, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then goes back into long form. And then it goes into concerts near you. then another long form video, then an advertisement that's sponsored, then another advertisement, long form video, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shorts. So as a result,
and that's what I'm noticing. That's what I'm noticing just even in my own feed. Tons of shorts are coming up recommended. Tons. It's like where the long form used to be under most relevant. Now it's the shorts that are under most relevant, but go ahead.
Yes. So that's what's worrying everybody, because they're saying that essentially, if this is happening to MrBeast, what does that now mean for the rest of YouTube itself?
YouTube is changing because it's the people are changing. I mean, like we were just talking about before we even logged in, that the attention span, we know that's in the dirt. Like there's no attention span whatsoever anymore. Everybody wants the quick microwave versions. But it's so interesting to me because I remember when shorts first came on the scene, people that were long form content creators who were very successful was saying, don't do this. This is going to damage your channel, so on and so forth. And shorts have really taken over. Shorts have transitioned from being 30 seconds to 1 minute to now 2 minutes. And it's like people are really, really seeing the benefit of making shorts. And I think too, not only for the viewer, but also for the content creator themselves. I mean, you could put out, 50 shorts to your, 3 long forms. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. And I need to make sure that we emphasize that with MrBeast, that MrBeast is being run by a different company now called Beast Industries, which has a CEO that is not Jimmy Donaldson, that is not MrBeast himself.
Oh.
That's when there was all this controversy that happened.
People involved.
Well, he had to, because there was all this controversy that took place with Dogpack. So when that whole situation took place, where he was being accused of doing all kinds of really bad stuff, they essentially realized that he can no longer be running his own company. It's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's where things get even more interesting. And then you'll go and do one of your stories, because we're already like 6 minutes in. But essentially, when it comes to his content, he is now starting to recognize and talk about that it's no longer about exactly how fast and how long retention is, because before the emphasis was on making the longest video possible while keeping people watching the entire thing throughout. Now it's all about feelings, because I don't know about you, but I've started to receive messages while finishing up a video that ask, how did I feel about that video? Did I like it or not? And YouTube's actually asking me that.
Yes. They want your feedback. It's like they're kicking out surveys.
They're kicking out surveys, which means that retention is no longer the key, which is what MrBeast has always been all about. They're going in there like, cool, you had the retention through the whole thing, but do you feel good after watching that? If you don't feel good, it doesn't matter if you had retention throughout the whole thing, because a lot of people will be interested and they'll watch MrBeast, but then their brain will be so scattered they don't even know what they just watched. So they might be like, no, I don't feel good.
Right.
And that's kicking down MrBeast's views.
See, because they're switching it now. They know that appealing to a person's emotions is what's going to keep them hooked.
Yep.
Especially at this point. I mean, look at the state that we're in. And when I say state, I mean current situation. Everything in social media pretty much is based on how it makes you feel. Everybody has a feeling. Everybody feels this. They feel that. They're protesting this, or they're agreeing with, or they're attacking. It's all because of how you made somebody feel, and that is what's gaining the traction. It's emotions.
Yeah, because now that YouTube is using AI, people are wondering if the recommendation is no longer a retention recommendation based upon subscribing, clicking the likes, and doing all these things to go into play with the algorithm. Now it's emotional of, did you actually create emotional attachment with the person that you're speaking to?
That's right, because that's what's going to keep you hooked. Your emotions.
Right, because that's why they're keeping the you in
YouTube. That's a tough game.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. This is a bigger.
That's a trip. You and YouTube.
Right. That's the big topic or whatever that I wanted to at least get out there. Cool. We are like basically 10 minutes in, so let's go on yours.
All right. Okay. So there is a growing number of restaurants across the country starting to go phone free. They're asking customers to put their devices away while they eat. The idea was to create more intentional, distraction-free experiences, basically encouraging people to actually talk to each other again. Okay, some places even sweeten the deal. There are reports of certain sports offering perks. There are reports of certain spots, offering perks like free desserts if you gave up your phone during your meal. Supporters say it made the dining experience feel more personal and present, like you're actually enjoying the moment instead of documenting it. There we go with the feelings. Okay, let me finish and I'm gonna run back to that. Yeah. But not everyone loves the idea. Critics pointed out that people rely on their phones for a lot, whether it's work-related emergencies or just staying connected. So taking that option away just doesn't sit right with everyone. Still, the trends seem to reflect the bigger shift. People are trying to disconnect. People are trying to disconnect a little more in the world where everything is always online. So it's like, I get it, but are people really giving up their phones like that? Because, it sounds nice in theory, but okay, what if you're waiting on something important? Yeah, and then now, where it once was before the phones, when it comes to trying to reconnect, are people just sitting there awkwardly, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say, because you don't have the phones? Yep. It just reminds me of when I just recently went out to dinner with my family, and interestingly enough, while we were on our phones, most of the time we were talking to each other. Yeah. But getting back to what the article referenced, where it says, supporters said it made dining feel more personal and present. And we're back into how things feel versus interacting one-on-one versus interacting in person versus being distracted because of what's on your phone, and then making whatever you see on your phone the topic at hand. Hey, check this out. Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you see that? You know what I mean? Yep. So I don't know how that's going to go, but it does say a growing number of restaurants. I wonder which restaurants, but it is across the country. It's going to be interesting to see if this sticks.
I got some things to add to this topic because there is, at least in the Jewish world or whatever, like it's funny because from Friday to Saturday, we don't use our technology at all. So we have this like no phone policy, no computer, no nothing. You don't interact with any technology whatsoever during that period of time. Uh-huh. But someone took it to the next level because they were noticing that people at bar and bat mitzvahs were going and they were using their phone when they're supposed to be at a dance party honoring the 12-year-old girl or the 13-year-old boy. And it's a problem. So they made a company called thephonevalet.com, not sponsored, but yeah. So essentially the kids would go up to the kiosk and they have to give them their phone at the phone valet.
Really?
Yes.
The phone valet. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. ThePhonevalet.com. And it was basically started by this person named Karen in Boca Raton. Of course, Boca Raton. But but it's definitely changed the whole dynamic. It's also created a interesting opportunity where professional photographers can now spend the time doing their job, taking pictures, and not being usurped from all these non-professional photo takers who end up blocking the shot, and then thus an entire moment is lost completely. The other
and we
thing,
all know the.
Well, go ahead. Say your piece.
I was just gonna say, and we all know, the moment is very important to, photographers, because the moment is going to capture the feeling, your expression, your body language, all of that tells a story for the photographer. So
Yep.
go ahead.
So the other thing that isn't really being talked about is the Masters also has a no phone policy. And essentially, they're now dealing with a problem because their policy doesn't talk about the latest technology, which is Ray-Ban, the glasses that have cameras in them. So people are going past the rules by using those to go into to take videos, which means unauthorized videos are being published, and that goes against the spirit of the Masters. So the people are going and begging the Masters to go and to come up with the exact proper wording so no technology is allowed anywhere on the course. Because the funny part is that if you look at pictures of the crowd at the Masters, there's no technology on them whatsoever, and you would think that this picture might have come out of the 80s. Because nobody's got any phones.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So again, I feel like the topic that we didn't even realize that this is all about today is feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because there seems to be a loss of emotion. They're trying to get back to it. But go ahead. What's your next one?
Yeah, I want to move on to Jonah Johnson, who is becoming very famous on Instagram. And what Jonah is doing is he is going to various establishments. He started off with restaurants, and he's buying the food at that restaurant, taking a bite, and then... Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's lovely. Excuse me. Wow. He's taking a bite and then he's screaming out their particular catchphrase. So, like, for example, Arby's is, "We've got the meat."
Yeah.
Right. And whatever the catchphrases are for these very things. Or like O'Reilly, O'Reilly. So
auto parts.
Okay, exactly. So all these restaurants have played ball with it. The only restaurant that had a problem, who wasn't aware of the trend that was going on, was KFC. So when he went and he screamed out "finger licking good," immediately a security officer immediately like grabbed him and was just like, "Get out."
Why?
Well, because he screamed in the middle of a restaurant, "This food is finger licking good." So now everybody on the internet is going and saying like every time he goes to any other place and goes and announces out their particular company
catchphrase or
slogan or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. The employees get really excited and join in. Or they let him do his thing. Yeah. Right? So as a result, every single every single comment literally, and the guy's Instagram is J Motion Media. But yeah, his name is Jonah Johnson. But essentially, what's key to know about this is that when you think about this whole campaign, every time he goes to another restaurant, everybody's like, "And KFC now looks worse." So it got to the point where KFC reached out to this Jonah Johnson guy.
They want him to come back. They want him to come back, right?
Right.
Is that it?
Right, and they said, "Hey, we got a proposal for you. Can you go and send me your address?" And he's sitting there thinking to himself, like, "No, I'm not going to go and release my address. Like, that is a terrible idea.
Right.
That is not happening whatsoever." And the KFC people are like, oh, please, we got some really cool stuff to go and to send you and this and that or whatever. Everybody thinks he's probably going to receive a cease and desist letter or who knows what. But anyway, he went and he said to KFC, of like, hey, listen, the only way you can make this up to me is that I want you to go and to donate your chicken to the homeless as part of a event that he would have in LA for donating it. But KFC didn't respond back. So as a result, he came up with a thing that went and said, J Motion Media finger licking give back. And essentially it says, I want to take an unfortunate moment at a chicken establishment and turn into a moment where everyone can eat, blah, 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 blah. And they're looking for a chicken establishment and all these things. Oh my goodness. Is this real?
Wow.
I don't know if this is real or not, but KFC may have donated $2,315 to the campaign.
Really?
That just happened.
Really?
Interesting.
KFC doesn't
I don't know
want
if
that
that's
bad press.
the real KFC or not.
Well, if it's not, somebody had over $200,000 to donate. I mean, it might as well be them, because if it's not, why give them the credit?
I don't know. That's kind of weird. I know, because the other day I was looking and I didn't see it and stuff. I'm just looking for a second. But yeah, that's the whole thing. He's basically revealing their conversation that they've been messaging back and forth about all this. Because KFC, I'm just trying to find the whole thing of where they go and he relates what's happening, but I don't even know if he took it down or not. He might have just taken it down, because there was a video where he went and he's like, hey, no, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. But the point is that he's taking full advantage of this whole situation. Yeah. I don't know. I can't even find I can't find the original video.
The things that people come up with, they seem so random, but they end up going viral. It's crazy.
Yeah. And all he does is he goes up to places and he just shouts out their particular thing.
Wow.
Crazy, right? All right.
Yep.
Let's throw out one more story, maybe one.
We're looking at this drafting situation. Starting later this year, December, I believe, the process for signing up for the U.S. military draft quietly shifted because eligible men were set to be automatically registered instead of having to do it themselves. In the past, though, men between ages 18 and 25 had to manually sign up with the selective service system, but under the new law, that responsibility was moving to the government, using existing federal data to handle it automatically. Lawmakers said the change was about efficiency, cutting down on cost and simplifying the process here, right? Since maintaining the system already costs millions every year. Supporters argued it made it worse. Fewer missed registrations and less administrative work. But it also raised questions for some people about awareness and consent, since something that used to be an individual responsibility was now happening behind the scenes. So, while nothing about the draft itself changed, the way people got pulled into the system definitely changed. So it's like, now you don't even have to sign up. It just happens, and where I get, efficiency and everything, but it still feels like it's something that people should actively know about. I guess you can know. You just go on and see if you've been enlisted, and then you find out, boom, you have. It's one of those changes that sounds small, but it's not small. I mean, you think, what are these measures being taken for? Okay, yeah, they say it's, for cost efficiency and things like that, but why now? why now you're so worried about the cost? And then, raising the age limit, I believe is now up to 32. Is it 32 that they're accepting? And even if you have a weed conviction. So it's like, why are all these changes happening right now? I don't really buy efficiency. I know that that's what they say, and it could very well make it more efficient, but I don't buy it with the timing. So, people are concerned about that, and again, it's supposed to take place starting December of this year. And it just happened. The executive order was signed and nobody knew about it. And now all of a sudden it's like here. So, of course people are concerned. They have their sons and everything. And, once you're automatically enlisted, what's next? So, yeah, I don't know, but we'll definitely hear more about it for sure.
Well, I mean, again, kind of going on the feeling track and stuff like that. It's just like there's this one guy whose name is Gagiegram. He's basically committing to go and to run across America. He's trying to lose weight. He's tried contacting over 100 different companies, and essentially one company actually replied. But it's just interesting that all these people who are completely, I don't even know the right words. They're not necessarily famous, but they're becoming internet famous.
And these days, I mean, that is famous. that is a level of fame. You become internet famous. That's a level of fame. You know?
No, even the fact that Hershey's announcing that it's going to return to pure chocolate ingredients in all of its products because that the guy who was a relative of the Reese's thing, he basically criticized the whole thing. It's like we're just seeing all these things that keep happening that I guess, as you were saying, all surround feeling.
Yep. Yeah. And it's interesting that it's being made kind of like a focal point, because where once upon a time, everything was based on numbers and interest. And now they're linking interest to emotions, and not just, I get a high off of this, but, how did it really make you feel? Were you inspired? Did it make you sad? Did it make you think? Was it draw you into deep thinking? And are you having conversations about this? Because when people feel something, they end up having a conversation with somebody about it. If it impacts their emotions enough. Hey, did you hear about this? And how do you feel about that? Because, right, that's the first question. How do you feel about that? Right. So, yeah.
But that's where I think that kind of summarizes it, that we're going to need to be keeping an eye on this, of feelings being the next thing, especially in the AI universe that we're constantly talking about.
Yes, you took the thoughts right out of my head when I was just saying, especially with the introduction of AI, the way that it's being used. It's definitely appealing to how a person feels, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
So with that, I think we have another logging in episode in the book.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Let's call it.
We can wrap it up.
Let's log it out. See you.
All right.
Next time, unless we have another crazy Jewish holiday section, which isn't going to be happening for 6 months anyway, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
So I'll talk to you later. Log in next week. Logging out.
Bye.
All right. Bye.